Alright, John. We're gonna try a new movie now. I know it's been a while since we've done one. This one is called Obedience, Honor, and Respect: The Keys to Survival in the World. As you know, the reason I'm doing this video is because we talked recently about these things and you seem to have a little confusion about what they are. And I know that your generation kind of struggles with especially that respect one and thinking that you don't need to respect adults just because they're adults. I want to talk a little bit about that today, if you don't mind. So, let's go ahead and get started. First thing I got here is that you're not an island. That you need others to survive in this world. And this means that you have to find ways to get along with others. And sometimes you get what you want, and other times you won't. So when you don't get what you want, don't complain. Learn to accept it. This means that sometimes you're gonna have to compromise and you're gonna have to sacrifice. When you learn to compromise and sacrifice, you learn to win what you want in the long run. If you don't learn to compromise and sacrifice, you're always gonna be fighting. You're always gonna be unhappy. You're always gonna feel lonely and isolated. I'm telling you from experience. You don't have to practice this one. It's really a lot of it is about your attitude. Your attitude is the way that you show the world how you feel about an event. You see, people read your behaviors. All the time they do this. They're looking at your attitude to make judgments about you, about the kind of person that they think you are. And they respond to you and they act to you based on what they see. And a bad attitude is like a flat tire. You can't go anywhere until you change it. If people view your attitude as being negative, they're gonna treat you hostile. They're gonna meet your negative attitude with a negative attitude. So the best way to be pleasant and have a good relationship with other people is to have a good attitude. Some attitudes are positive and they say good things about you. And some attitudes are negative and they say bad things about you. Now, I don't want you to think, John, that I'm telling you that you can't disagree or not like things that happen to you and what people with authority over you do. It's okay to disagree with people, but it's not always what you say, but it's how you say it. If you say something to an adult or a person of authority with an attitude, with rolling your eyes, with your body language showing that you're not showing, it's really about you showing that you understand that they have authority over you and that you're not basically having a little temper tantrum and acting like a little fool regardless of this. I told you I was gonna talk about 3 things. The first one is obedient. Now, I know you said, well, I don't have to respect the police officer that comes to me and acts disrespectful to me. Well, you don't have to respect him in that sense. But you do have to be obedient to him because he is an authority. Because there are certain people in your life that you're gonna need to be obedient to in order to survive. So remember, obedience isn't always respect. Obedience is when you comply, when you just do things that they ask you to do. That order they ask you to do, request of law, or submission of someone of authority. This is when you do what they ask you to do. That's what obedience is. So you at least have to do that, just so you can survive. When you're being obedient, you're expected to do what's asked of you immediately, do what is asked without arguing or back talking, do what is asked without having it kind of understanding of what you're doing it for or why you're doing it. And it's about doing what is asked without some kind of negative attitude. And it's not necessary that you like what you're asked to do. Obedience means doing it anyway. Now, honor, we talked about that. You know, a lot of honor is a lot when you think of military people. It's really a high respect when you adhere to what's right or some kind of standard of conduct or when you fulfill an obligation. And I always tell you, you have to have honor to your family. You have to have honor to your mother and father. So I expect you to honor me. I expect you to give me the highest respect of anyone. If no other reason that I am good to you. Your mother is good to you and we treat you well. Regardless of how bad you might think you are. If you compare it to the rest of the world and what other people are doing, you're treated like a prince. And with that comes you giving back to us like you treat us like kings and queens, because we treat you like kings and queens, if no other reason. But you're supposed to honor your parents. This means the Bible says honor your parents. When they ask you to do something, do it. Now I'm gonna show you this quick video that I found on YouTube, and it talks about that. So give me a second to set that up, and I'm gonna show you what they say about that. How about this?
Commandments reads,
Here we go.
honor your father and your mother. This commandment is so important that it is one of the only commandments in the entire Bible that gives a reason for observing it.
Don't know why I stopped there.
That your days may be long in the land that the Lord your God is giving you. Many people read that part of the fifth commandment as a reward. But while it may be regarded as a reward, the fact remains that it is a reason. If you build a society in which children honor their parents, your society will long survive. And the corollary is, a society in which children do not honor their parents is doomed to self-destruction. In our time, this connection between honoring parents and maintaining civilization is not widely recognized. On the contrary, many of the best educated parents do not believe that their children need to show them honor, since honoring implies an authority figure, and that is a status many modern parents reject. In addition, many parents seek to be loved, not honored, by their children. Yet neither the Ten Commandments nor the Bible elsewhere commands us to love our parents. This is particularly striking, given that the Bible commands us to love our neighbor, to love God, and to love the stranger. The Bible understands that there will always be individuals who, for whatever reason, do not love a parent. Therefore, it does not demand what may be psychologically or emotionally impossible, but it does demand that we show honor to our parents. And it makes this demand only with regard to parents. There is no one else who the Bible commands us to honor. So then, why is honoring parents so important? Why does the Ten Commandments believe that society could not survive if this commandment were widely violated? One reason is that we as children need it. Parents may want to be honored, and they should want to be, but children need to honor parents. A father and a mother who are not honored are essentially adult peers of their children. They are not parents. No generation knows better than ours the terrible consequences of growing up without a father. Fatherless boys are far more likely to grow up and commit violent crime, mistreat women, and act out against society in every other way. Girls who do not have a father to honor, and hopefully to love as well, are more likely to seek the wrong men and to be promiscuous at an early age. Second, honoring parents is how nearly all of us come to recognize that there is a moral authority above us to whom we are morally accountable. And without this, we cannot create or maintain a moral society. Of course, for the Ten Commandments, the ultimate moral authority is God, who is therefore higher than even our parents. But it is very difficult to come to honor God without having had a parent, especially a father, to honor. Sigmund Freud, the father of psychiatry and an atheist, theorized that one's attitude towards one's father largely shaped one's attitude toward God. There's one more reason why honoring parents is fundamental to a good society. Honoring parents is the best antidote to totalitarianism. One of the first things totalitarian movements seek to do is to break the child-parent bond. A child's allegiance is shifted from parents to the state. Even in democratic societies, the larger the state becomes, the more it usurps the parental role. Finally, there are many ways to honor parents. The general rule is this: they get special treatment. Parents are unique, so they must be treated in a unique way. You don't talk to them in quite the same way you do anyone else. For example, you might use expletives when speaking to a friend, but you don't with a parent. You don't call them by their first name. And when you leave their home and make your own, you maintain contact with them. Having no contact with parents is the opposite of honoring them. And remember this: if your children see you honor your parents, no matter how difficult it may sometimes be, the chances are far greater that they will honor you. I'm Dennis Prager. Join Prager University, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and sign up for free at...
All right. That was my little bit, because I think he said it in a way that I couldn't say about honoring your parents. So I'm going to move on. Respect. I told you a lot about respect. Respect is what we talked about a little bit before. It's showing honor by behaving in a way that's humbling, that considers the feelings, traditions, the authority of the person that you're trying to respect. And I know one of the things, John, you always ask, but why? Why should I respect people? Well, here's some general reasons to respect people. And I know that you may not agree with any of these, but listen to them. The first one is the law of reciprocity. As the saying goes, to get respect, you have to give respect. And as much as you want to deny it, you do want people to respect you. The second one is you never know who you will need. Life is unpredictable, and you never know where you might find yourself or who you might need help from down the line. So if you give respect, you're a whole lot more likely to get help from other people when they see that you've respected them. Fairness. It's important to treat others the way that you want to be treated. So this is the moral perspective, and it's all about fairness. Another one is karma. You get what you give. When you do good, you get good back. Whereas when you do bad, it's going to come back to bite you in the ass. So respecting people comes back on you, whether you gave them respect or you didn't. Likability. No one likes a jerk. And that's exactly how people perceive people who treat others with disrespect. So think about it. Do you like people who treat others disrespectfully? Probably not, because you know deep down inside, one day they're likely to treat you that way. So if you see a girl that you're dating treating others disrespectfully, or treating her parents disrespectfully, how you think she's going to respect you? And the last one, you never win if you're disrespectful. When you talk to those in authority who are with disrespect, you end up losing. Whatever you're trying to get from them, you make it harder, if not impossible, to get. Try this. Try talking disrespectful to a teacher or a cop, and you see what kind of rewards you're going to get. Probably not going to get any. You're going to make it more difficult on yourself. So it's stupid to shoot yourself in the foot, as they say, to treat somebody disrespectful when it's going to hurt you in the long run. I'm going to show you another quick video because I thought this guy was really good too. So check this one out. It's really short though. So give me a second. Here is this one right here. Check it out.
Right now you are smack dab in the middle of this process called adolescence. Okay, you've heard the word adolescence, but adolescence is basically the process that starts at puberty when you go from a child to an adult. Every one of you is an adolescent, so you're in this process of becoming a man, a woman. And really, you think about this, up until just recently, you were totally fine with being carted around by mommy and daddy. You need to cross the street, they held your hand. You can even use the bathroom in a mall without being supervised. They told you when you're going to eat, when you're going to sleep, when you're going to drink. They told you how many video games you could play. They dictated your life. But those days are now over because this whole chemical reaction that's set off through puberty, that your brain literally is telling your body it's time to grow. This person's going to be independent. They're going to be on their own. Nobody's going to be there to tell you when to sleep, when to eat. Nobody's going to tell you what to do. So your body is sending this message through all these hormones that, hey, we got to pick up the pace here. So you have muscle growth. Your body changes. And mentally, there's something inside of you that craves opportunities to be independent, to take care of yourself, to not be controlled, to make your own decisions. So you are on this track towards independence. There's no question you are going to be independent. You're going to be on your own. You're going to have to take care of yourself at some point. But also on this track are these people called adults. They're your parents, they're your grandparents, teachers, coaches, all these people that are there. And your mindset, the way you think about these adults, will determine how painful this process of adolescence is and how powerful you come out of it will be. And ultimately, you think about this, they ask you questions like, hey, did you do your homework? Hey, did you do your dishes? Are you being responsible? If you have the mindset that they're there to block you and stop you from your freedom, then what you'll do is naturally react by breaking through. You're going to be independent, so you will attack them and say, you're not going to stop me. I'm going to be independent. I'm going to think the way I want. I'm going to do what I want. You don't need to tell me what to do. And there will be this major clash. It'll be very painful. But if you have the mindset that, hold on, these people have the same end goal. They want me to be independent. They want me to be free thinking. And they are pushing me in the right direction. Then what you'll do is when they ask those questions, you'll be realizing, okay, they're trying to prepare me, they're trying to help me, and you'll soak in that wisdom. So I remember when I was a teenager, and it's Friday night, and my mom asked me, Seth, hey, what are you doing tonight? What are your plans? I said, hey, I'm going on a date.